I love a good nickname. I love a good real name. I love in sports when we find out the names of people and they are just insane. Because sometimes you wonder, how do people come up with these names? How do people get named what they are? We've seen it in, what is it, every year they do this in college basketball. I know, I think they do it in college football too, where they say, here's the all-name team for college basketball. And just some of the names are hilarious. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's a combination of the first name and the last name. Sometimes it's just a really odd first name, whatever it is. I saw that my New York Mets made a move yesterday to pick up a reliever. He has been with the Blue Jays, been with a couple different teams. His name is Richard Lovelady, which is fine, right? Lovelady's a bit of a unique last name. But what made it more interesting was I saw that Anthony DiComo, who covers the Mets, said, for those asking, yes, new Mets reliever Richard Lovelady has requested to go by his nickname Dicky. So it will be Dicky Lovelady from here on out. My guy. That's great. I'm all about that.
Well, there was a guy that was in the minors. I think he's in the minors. His name is Fitz. Richard Fitz.
Okay.
But obviously,
he doesn't go by Richard?
He does not go by Richard.
Does he go by Dick? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. So that would be his name, Dick Fitz.
Hey, you know what? If that's what you want to go by, I'm not going to judge how you want to be called. I'll call you by your name. That's fine. So Richard Lovelady, a.k.a. Dicky Lovelady, now pitching for my New York Mets. I'm very excited about that. I hope he's great. The Mets need some help, by the way. They haven't been great of late. But the other name I saw, and this one's a little more in depth. This is Bowling Green. You know, our guy Eddie George up there now coaching Bowling Green up. Let's go. Hope they have a great season. They had a transfer from Dayton that came in this year. His name, by itself, without his middle name, is still a pretty good name. I don't say it's an all-time name, but Gideon Lampron. That's a sturdy name. There's a lot of syllables. You don't hear a lot of people named Gideon all the time.
Gideon
Biblical
Lampron.
Name. Yeah, Gideon Lampron, all right? He was an FCS All-American linebacker at Dayton. Mm-hmm. Sure, John Gruden loves him because I think he's got some ties to UD, right? Isn't that where Johnny Gruden went to school?
Not 100% sure.
I think that's it. Anyway, so he's now going to Bowling Green, going to step up a level there. But his dad apparently is a huge sports fan, so much so that he campaigned to, when his son was born, he's from LaGrange, Ohio, Dad campaigned with Mom and said, how about we make his middle name Espen? And when I say that, I mean ESPN, spelled out, pronounced Espen. So Mom said, absolutely not, you psychopath, that's stupid. Then Mom gave birth to Gideon Lampron. Then, as does happen after women give birth, because it's an exhaustive process, and I don't know how women do it, she was asleep right after the birth. She was resting. Dad is presented with the form to fill out the name. And so Dad went rogue and put ESPN as this dude's name for his middle name. So now, and they asked him about this. The Dayton Daily News did a story on this. He said, then she delivers Gideon. She's out of it. The nurse comes for me to sign the birth certificate. When I signed it, I literally printed ESPN in capital letters. She was out cold when I did it. When she woke up, I told her I did it, and she said, no, you didn't. She didn't realize I did it. She wasn't happy with me. Yeah, I bet. Marty is his name, by the way, the dad. Marty Lampron is the one who brought us this. So, yeah, his son Gideon now plays football and is now at Bowling Green. And if you look up his official middle name in the media guide, it's Gideon Espen Lampron, but it's ESPN. And I guess I applaud the effort. I don't know if, I think I would get my wife would divorce me if I did that.
This is up there with Dakotas Crawford.
Yeah, it's up there, right?
Up there with that.
That's right. There's been quite a few. Wasn't there Kool-Aid McKinstry? Am I wrong? I think that was a nickname.
That was his nickname.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
Kool-Aid.
But yeah, but putting brand names in the name is quite a thing.
Well, the wildest name I've seen probably in the past, 10 years.
Yeah,
was this linebacker that's at Eastern Michigan, whose name is Noah, but his last name is Kanega, but it's spelled Knigga.
Oh.
So if you don't know how to pronounce that, like if you just
I wouldn't dare.
If you just looked at it, like say you were doing the play-by-play and you had no idea, you would say.
What I would say is Noah made a great tackle. Noah is doing some great things. Noah is our tremendous player, Noah.
The kid is, I think he went to Eastern Michigan. The kid, this is when I seen this, I looked at it like his last name is what? And it was like this big thing. It had the internet in a blaze.
Well, I remember for years as a kid, there was a name that used to be on TV all the time. And when I would hear this word in the news, the first time I heard this word, I had asked my mom and dad, I'm like, what does this mean? And they explained, this is a very heinous crime. This is a very dangerous crime. It's very bad, right? There was a guy who I think I don't know if this dealership still exists in Richmond, Indiana. They used to run commercials for Tom Raper RV. And I said, because I didn't know, when I was a kid, I would hear these commercials like, oh, Tom Raper RV. And then I heard that term without the R on it on the news, and then my parents were like, that's a very bad crime. I don't even want to describe what that is to you because it's obviously horrible. Yeah. And I was like 7 or 8 years old. So then I found out it was a crime, and then now as I've grown up, Tom Raper RV, when you drive out to Richmond, Indiana, it's like the first town in Indiana as you're headed out to Indianapolis. You go past Tom Raper Way, and Tom Raper RV used to be there, and I don't know if it still is, but change your last name is what I'm saying. Like, you just may want to go with something else.
Where you get that? Oh, I was down at the Raper dealership.
Oh, no. Is that a Raper RV you have? Nope, it's just a regular RV. Just a regular old. They sold vans, too. I don't want that on the bumper. I think
he just leaned into it. I think that's, instead of just resisting it, I think he just kind of leaned into that one.
Like your guy, Kanega. It's like, you may need to change that last name, or at least do some phonetic spelling of it.
I think his dad is a coach. Coach Kanega.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do. That's
we might just call him Coach K.
Yeah, that's a good call there, Bodie. You're exactly right. By the way, speaking of good sports names, I saw Lil Wayne, the rapper. He has a horse. He's obviously very wealthy. He can afford to get many horses if he wants to. He has a racehorse, though, that won a race at Alameda Racetrack. Good. The horse's name is 6 Hoof 7 Hoof, and I thought that's a pretty good horse name. If you're good, I mean, you got a song, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, fun. Like, everyone's heard that little bit at some point, probably. Horses have no feet; they have hooves, right? So that's 6 Hoof 7 Hoof. I like it. It's a good name.
It's very creative, and I guess when you get a horse, you have to name it something that's creative.
Well, we talked about the Derby. How do you have, like, who won it? Was it Journalism or Sovereignty? One of those two won it this year, and it's just like,
was Journalism the favorite, but he didn't win, I think.
And Sovereign, maybe Sovereign's the one that won, but then Journalism won. I don't know. They both were very good, and those are fine names, but those are kind of boring. Like 6 Hoof 7 Hoof. I feel like that's the one I want to hear them yell.
I'm throwing 20 down on that one.
Absolutely right. That's good. All right, you can tweet us some of your favorite names that we've forgotten about at Bone and Tyvis 971.